Razer just updated the Naga to the Naga V3 Pro. Let's see if these updates are worth it for you to upgrade. So just in that sound test alone, I'm sure you spotted some of the cool new features on the Naga V3 Pro. Some of the obvious ones being these two new included side buttons. Absolutely love them because they're right there at your fingertips. You also probably noticed the new scroll wheel. So you got regular tactical here. You can press it. You got the free spin that we're all used to, but then you can press it again and they got precision tactical. And you can adjust this in the software or just by this button up here. But this one just gets like a few more extra clicks. It's like real small, like bam, little press and it's right there. Press it again and it will backtrack to free spin and then back to your regular tactical, which is pretty much how I left it. When I got to the precision, it was almost like a little bit too small for those presses. But the really cool thing is this button on the other side over here. So you're going to be gripping the mouse and you can just press it down like that over there. So it's really cool. So you got these extra buttons there, bamming those. And if you're busy being, you're using all these other buttons, like you got a whole lot going on. But the cool thing, you might be thinking like, oh man, I'm going to grip that. That's going to be totally annoying just going to town over there. Well, underneath the mouse, you can actually see this lock and unlock button. Press that down and it locks that button. Not just the press like the registration of the actuation, but it totally locks the button from moving. So it's really nice. So if you don't want to use that side button and you're a firmer gripper like myself, you press the lock button down there and you're in business. You can grip your mouse really tight. Now, some other things that you probably might not have been able to see are the switches, being the new Razer optical Gen 4 switches. And then as far as the sensor underneath, they're using the 50K sensor now. You got the HyperFlux as well, as you can see I've been using. We'll talk about that in a second. But coming over here to the other attachments, which I'm pretty much kind of like the basic setup. Dabble with this a little bit, but still kind of just a simplistic kind of setup. But if you're buying the Naga, this is probably why you're buying it. I give you guys a lot of credit because this has got to be confusing. I would not know what the heck I'm pressing. I'm probably just going to smash them all. So high five to you all that use these mice. Oh my gosh, that'd be so confusing. But anyways, the mice now are double shot. I'm not sure if it's PBT or ABS or whatever, but anyways, the fonts are not printed on it now. It's actually injected into it, so it's kind of like a keyboard switch. So those fonts are not, or the numbers are not going to fade away on you over time as you're pressing it. They're always going to be legible there. And if we swap it out here, let's go and take a look at it. You can see them light up. So that is really, really cool, so they don't fade away on you over time. But one of my favorite things and what I loved when I was actually using the Naga V3 Pro was pairing it up with the HyperFlux V2 here. So you got the little puck on the back right here. So you'll take it, put it right into the mouse, lock it in, and then all you really have to do is set the mouse down, put that puck in, and it instantly pairs up. It does come with your dongle right here, and by the way, it can go up to 8K. I think you got to get one of the other dongles. This one's only 1,000 if I'm thinking correctly. And then also on the HyperFlux, you get 1,000 polar rate, which is honestly perfectly fine. But that's, other than it, the performance, we'll get to that. Talking about the HyperFlux V2, and the Naga V3 Pro, it is so cool. Like, I never once had to put the dongle in or put a USB in. Straight out of the box here, plugged it up, put the little puck in the back, instantly paired up. Like, that was so cool. And then of course on top of it, the HyperFlux V2 is going to instantly charge or continuously charge your Naga. So you really never have to worry about battery life. And why this was a shocker to me is, number one, because this is a little bit smaller. I'm over here using, as my main pad is the Razer glass pad, which is Another shocker, because I'm usually not a glass pad fan, but the thinness of this one and the smoothness is so stinking awesome. I did a whole review on it. Go check it out. This glass pad I've tested many of them. This is one of the best for sure. But anyways, I was kind of curious about the size since I'm playing Battlefield, a lot of Battlefield. That's pretty much my go-to game right now, but I still dabble with some Destiny. And this is small, but I was still able to manage. I never once caught myself sliding off the edges or anything. The only thing I caught myself doing was occasionally, very rarely, but once in a while, I would bonk the front up there. So a bigger size of this would be really nice. Now let's go and take a look at Synapse. And the first thing I want to show you, I know we're talking about the Naga V3 Pro here, but I want to show you what I was talking about with the Hyperflux, which is just so cool. It's this right here, the seamless auto pairing, and you can turn it on or off, but as you can see right here, it just automatically pairs up, and it's just such a nerdy, cool thing that I absolutely love. Like, the simplicity, this is what we need back in tech, right? Unbox it, put it down, and it's ready to go. Absolutely love it. And then you can adjust your battery optimizer, stuff like that. Anyways, going back over here to the Naga V3, and this will depend on which side you have on. Where you can see, you can go over to the side, you can adjust it, you can come over here and actually adjust whatever setting you want, or actually right on the mouse. Then you got the regular 2 if you had that, or it's telling you the one that we have on. And again, you can go in here and actually adjust it to whatever you want. So many different options. And then again, you got your core buttons over here as well that you can adjust, even as far as that scroll wheel, adjusting that scroll wheel. Basic, you can save profiles to it over here. Coming down, this is what I was talking about, tactical, free spin, and precision, which you can adjust right on here or right on the mouse. Scroll acceleration, so if you scroll faster, it just automatically goes into free spin and stuff, or was that smart reel? Anyways, you got both of those adjustments over there. Coming over here, you have performance and up to 1,000. Smart polling switcher, which is again, which it'll catch which game you're in, and then it'll adjust for you. I just leave it at 1,000, it's perfectly fine. DPI with a bigger mouse, I caught myself running at 1600. Sensitivity matcher, which you can match it up to your other gaming mouse. We're all pretty used to a lot of these settings right here. Then you got the brightness. I leave mine at 80. Which is what you were looking at earlier. And that's, again, I'm running it with the Hyperflux, so it's pretty much always charged. I never have to worry about it here. Smart dimming, I also leave off. So again, my RGB is pretty much always running. That's a nice thing about that Hyperflux mouse pad paired up with this. You really never have to worry about your battery life. Coming over here to power. Saving, low power mode, and then you got calibration and stuff. So again, Synapse, we're all pretty much familiar with it, right, as far as the core settings in here. The thing, again, that makes me just absolutely giddy is the stinking seamless auto pairing. Golly, I love that. And then talking about performance, it's absolutely flawless, no issues, no lag, no delay, no anything. Even testing it with the 6-button side, I don't really use the one with all the 12 buttons on the side right there. Again, a little more simplistic, but again, no issues whatsoever. And the majority of my time was using it on the Hyperflux. I used it a little bit with the glass pad, but again, I just love that Hyperflex and the combination here. Absolutely flawless, no issues. It's pretty much getting like the Viper V4 Pro, getting that Razer Pro upgrade, right? With the new sensor and then the Gen 4 optical switches. Again, I did not run it going 8K, just running straight up 1000 polling. And it was just rock solid, absolutely flawless. Testing it with wireless headsets or anything like that, no interference or anything. Again, battery life, I can't really speak on that because I was using it with the Hyperflux, so I never had to worry about the battery life. And again, I left my RGB at 80 and I didn't use that smart dimming. That smart dimming kind of drives me nuts because when your hand goes on and off, you notice it kind of go away. But again, as far as my time using this mouse, absolutely flawless. The biggest issue for me is it's a little bit short. Talking about size, it's that tried and true Naga shape, so if you like that, you're gonna love this. But me, if it was bigger like Death Adder type of size, which is my main mouse, then I think I would be able to get down with it a little bit more. But for me, it's a little short and plump. I'm fine with plump, but I need it just a little bit longer so that hump is in the back of my palm. So performance, solid. As far as my personal preference and my use of it, I'm just not that good with this shaped mouse. Now this feels a little weird because I know a lot of Naga users aren't really weight junkies like a lot of the Viper and Death Adder and FPS type players are, but we'll check it a little bit because they did reduce it. Now I'm going to test it with the regular puck in there. If you're curious how much more the Hyperflux puck is going to be, it's an extra, just say 5 grams. So just add that on top of it. But testing it like this right here, it's coming in at 112 with the regular 2-button side. Now let's go to the 6-button side right here. We're getting 113. So going up a gram right there. Coming over here to the 12-button side, so it's pretty much going up like 1 gram per button right there. And if you're curious without the bottom there, we'll just get it with the 2-button here just so you can see. If you didn't have the bottom on, if you're crazy about weight, 109. So really, honestly, does not make, heck, it's not even registering right there. So let's try that again. Is something wrong with my scale? No, but just that light that it doesn't register. So that doesn't really make a difference. Something I wanted to show you that I totally forgot about. On the side of the mouse right there, inside, and when you take the side off, you see the little dongle icon? It's pretty cool because you can actually slide your dongle right in there and store it. So say if you're on the move or whatever, bam, your dongle's right in there. That's just kind of cool. So you don't got like this storage like we're used to on a lot of mice where you store it underneath there or something. Just this little tiny little nook right there, bam, you can plop it in. That's pretty cool. Now the Naga V3 Pro is going to come in at 180 bucks. And I can't sit here and say, oh, go get it, or it's good or bad or whatever, because I'm not a Naga main, right? I am a Death Adder main. But I mean, heck, us with the, as I drop it here, the Viper Pros and then the Death Adder Pros, I think we were paying around 182, or maybe are they 150? So anyways, my point is that we're already paying that price, but the cool thing about the Naga is like you're getting so much with this mouse, you know what I mean? Again, the reason I can't use it is it's just I say small, it's just the shape. I wish it was longer. I wish it was like Death Adder type size. Now, what I will say here is I'd like to see Razer go further with the Naga. Again, kind of give it a little bit of a bigger shape. I can see it being a very good productivity mouse and then gaming mouse as well. But right now it's almost like that relaxed claw type shape. I'd rather see a versatile, again, feature-packed mouse like this more in a palm shape. I can see it being really versatile across multiple sessions, gaming or productivity, you know. But also talking about the Hyperflux, the back of the mouse, that charging ability right there. I'd love to see Razer implement that in like the Death Adders or the Vipers and then make a bigger Hyperflux here, maybe like a glass one or something. I get it, right? A lot of FPS players are like, yo, we need our weight like below 50 grams or something like that. You know, it's 2026. I get it. Everybody wants everything lighter, but you know, just go hit a couple weights or something. Maybe just curl a Naga here and there, or a classic Death Adder, maybe get a little bit of muscles, and I think you'll be fine if they add, what was it, 4 grams or something for the charging on the back. I think that would be super cool. Razer, please give us the option maybe, just so you can just twist it on or not or something. I think that would be so cool having more products utilizing the Hyperflux V2. You know, another thing I was thinking in my time using the Hyperflux, what would be really cool, because again, this isn't really like a fast-paced game, just kind of a feature-packed mouse. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I would love like a little haptic module in here, right? So you're firing or something, you just feel maybe over on your thumb or something like that, or in the back of your palm. I don't know. Again, it's just something I'm thinking on, just such a versatile type of mouse like this. I'd love to see something like that implemented into a gaming mouse. And I think the Naga would be the perfect platform. A little haptic bit in there. I think that'd be super cool. Anyways, that is the new Naga V3 Pro. Let me know what you think about it right down in the comments. And I hope this video was helpful and beneficial for you one way or another. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.